A beautiful little girl named Abigail takes the stage and starts dancing to the music from Swan Lake. Her moves are graceful, and the child looks like an innocent perfection of humankind. But who are those dangerous people spying on her, and what are they up to? A group of criminals work out the perfect plan on how to kidnap the daughter of a powerful underworld figure and ask for a huge ransom. Each of them is a highly skilled professional and has to play their own role to make everything work out. The criminals don't know each other, but they have to work as one team to make their plan succeed. Among them, there is a criminal leader named Frank. He is thirsty for power and wants everyone to obey him.
Is it too cold or too hot? Or?
Temperature's fine. Fucking drive.
He doesn't care about anyone's opinion and strictly follows their plan. There is also a careful girl named Joey, who is responsible for the medical part of the plan, a genius hacker named Sammy, two drivers named Dean and Peter, and a strong guy named Rickles. They divide into two groups, track the girl down, and prepare to start their operation. Sammy manages to turn off all the cameras so they could sneak into the house without getting caught. Each of them wears a mask because the girl mustn't see their faces.
Tiny dancer is arriving.
After her ballet practice, Abigail returns home, where the criminals are already waiting for her.
No one said it was a kid.
Oh, no one said that? It's a kid. You wanna walk? Walk.
They attack the girl, and she tries to fight back, but she is helpless against the adult and experienced criminals. Frank wants to hit the girl, but Joey doesn't want to harm the child and stops him. She manages to inject Abigail with sedatives and put her to sleep.
You grab him like that again, I may have to respond.
Understood.
Fuck, that's not part of the plan.
Then they take the girl and leave the house as quickly as possible. Nobody stops them, and the criminals head to a safe place. The first step of the plan is successfully completed, so the guys move on to the next stage.
All right, kids. Not out of the woods yet. We still gotta get out of the city.
They drive the girl to a secluded mansion and meet Lambert, a criminal mastermind. He was the one who formed the group and came up with the idea of the kidnapping. He tells them to find a room for the girl and ensure that she is okay. The hardest part of the plan is already done, so now they just have to wait and work as babysitters until the girl's father brings them $50 million.
Who's the girl?
You don't need to know her name.
The criminals are free to do whatever they want until they don't leave the house, but Lambert warns them to avoid any romantic relationships within the group. Once their mission is completed, they will get their money and never see each other again. Joey is assigned to look after the girl, and she must be the only one who can talk to her. It seems that Joey feels pity for the girl and would never hurt her. The criminals take Abigail to one of the bedrooms and chain her up to the bed while she is still sleeping. Lambert collects everyone's phones to prevent any sabotage of the operation. Reluctantly, the kidnappers agree to hand over their gadgets.
Thank you. Just, okay.
Before Joey passes her phone, she looks at a photo of herself with a little boy, who must be her own child. After giving detailed instructions, Lambert leaves the mansion and promises to return the next day.
See you in 24 hours, my lovely pack of rats.
With fun music and unlimited alcohol, the guys enjoy the mansion they are locked in.
Who do you guys think that this girl's father is?
Some tech billionaire.
Ha!
I like you. You're scary
Joey.
though.
They start a silly game to get to know each other better, and Joey proves to be the most insightful person in the company. For example, she easily guesses that Frank is a former cop. His shoes, his manners, and specific police gestures indicate that he was once a sharp detective.
Not a street cop, no. Too smart, so I'm gonna say detective.
Joey also mentions that he is obsessed with the idea of total control over everything, and it pisses Frank off. Meanwhile, Joey continues to describe the other members of the group. Sammy grew up in a very rich family. She thinks that being a criminal is romantic, but wants to keep her hands clean, so she just deals with the hacker stuff.
Very good.
Dean has some mental illness, while Peter was bullied in his childhood.
You've got loose wiring, probably a sociopath. You got bullied in school, probably by dad too.
In response, Frank deduces that Joey is an addict who has problems with staying sober.
And you are a junkie. Don't ever with me. I will know.
Joey refuses to talk about it and leaves to check on the girl. Abigail wakes up and gets very scared.
I want to go home. Where am I? Who are you? What's happening?
She begs Joey for help and Joey can't say no. Abigail looks completely innocent, so Joey decides the girl deserves more freedom. Abigail cries and Joey manages to calm her down.
Can you take the blindfold off? It's really tight.
To comfort her, Joey takes off her blindfold and changes her handcuffs.
Are you gonna hurt me?
No.
Joey and Abigail instantly get along, and Joey earns the girl's trust. She makes a pinky promise that she won't let anybody hurt Abigail. Joey even tells Abigail about about her son but doesn't reveal any details. She tells the girl that she has been kidnapped, but they will let her go as soon as her father pays the ransom. Joey explains the situation, but Abigail tells her that they made a terrible mistake. Her father doesn't love her, and they chose the wrong girl.
My dad, well, he thought he wanted a child, but then he just lost interest.
Before Joey leaves, Abigail admits that she likes her, and that she feels sorry that Joey ended up there with other criminals.
Joey?
Yeah.
Sorry about what's gonna happen to you.
Her words scare Joey, and she decides to question Frank about the girl's father. Unfortunately, he doesn't know anything, so he tells Joey to shut up and do her job.
Oh my God, you're gonna be a real pain in my ass, aren't you?
I just don't scare easy, so when I do, I pay attention.
Intrigued, Frank decides to visit Abigail and threaten her in order to learn her father's name. He doesn't expect that Abigail can see him and accidentally shows his face without a mask. Frank freaks out that the girl might recognize him in the future and threatens Abigail with a gun to check if she had enough time to remember his face. Frank also makes the kid reveal who her father is. His name is Kristof Lazaar, which really shocks Frank.
Did you say? You cut up my share however you want. I'm out.
Kristof Lazaar is a very dangerous man, which means that all the criminals are in grave danger now.
Now we have to kill her.
Not a chance.
They want to quit and leave the girl in the house alone, but eventually decide that $50 million is worth the risk. They just have to be extremely careful and wait for 22 hours until the end of their operation.
It's a lot of money.
22 hours.
What a dick.
The criminals split up and head back to their duties. While patrolling the mansion, Joey finds a huge library with a mysterious statue of a little girl with an adult man. There is also a big round window, but it is closed and Joey doesn't pay much attention to it. Then she bumps into Rickles and the sparks fly between them. He confesses that she is the only one he can trust there and offers to stick together in case of any trouble. She admits that she trusts him but refuses to join him in his room for a private talk.
You want to come in?
I was thinking the same thing. I sort of have this reputation of being a professional.
Dean feels bored and wants to have some fun. At first, he scares Sammy and tries to flirt with her, but she screams at him and tells him to leave her alone.
I was trying to prank you. I'm sorry.
What the fuck, Dean?
Just-
Good!
I didn't mean to scare you.
I don't give a shit!
Then, Dean pranks Peter by drawing an offensive image on his face and goes searching the house. Eventually, he finds a room with a strange painting of little Abigail. It looks very old, but Dean actually doesn't care. Suddenly, he hears something weird. At first, he thinks that it is just a rat, but then some horrible creature appears and attacks him. Dean tries to protect himself and escape, but the monster is too quick and strong. Nobody hears Dean's screams while the mysterious creature grabs him and drags Dean away. Meanwhile, Sammy can't sleep and keeps watching some cartoons on TV. When Sammy hears some noises, she goes to check what it is and thinks that Dean is going to prank her again. At first, she doesn't notice anything weird, but a few moments later, she finds Dean decapitated. His head falls right into her hands, and Sammy panics. She screams, and Peter runs to her.
Why do you have a dick on your face?
What?
Sammy can't explain what happened, so she just asks him to call everybody for help. When they see the body, the guys become very scared. There is a legend that Kristof Lazaar has a secret assassin called Valdez. This assassin is able to kill anybody and usually decapitates his victims.
That's his signature. Valdez. It's a f***ing animal.
Valdez is incredibly strong and invincible, and never shows mercy to Lazaar's enemies. And kidnapping his daughter definitely makes Dean and the others enemies of Kristof.
Now that Dean is dead, we have a bigger share.
He just died.
Joey decides to go upstairs and ask Abigail if she saw anything strange, but the girl claims that she didn't see anything.
She's fine.
I'm out.
You're leaving?
Bye-bye.
The criminals decide to leave the house but discover that the building is locked. They try to break the door, but it only activates a mechanism that locks all the windows as well. They are trapped, and there is no visible way out of the building.
What the is happening? This whole thing is a trap.
Joey decides to check if Abigail is okay and asks her if she's hiding something. Abigail starts crying and confesses that Frank hurt her and that he told her that he is working for her father as a killer named Valdez. When Rickles finds Joey, he informs her that someone stole his weapon. He wants to leave the place and asks Joey to go with him. Together, they will definitely figure something out and run away.
You on me, right?
Medic,
These guys are amateurs.
we can take him.
We can take them. We gonna get through this.
I have to.
You have a kid. We'll make sure you get on.
But first, Joey has to tell everyone that Frank is Valdez. Shortly after that, Joey finds Rickles killed and thinks that Frank murdered him.
Rickles? Where's Frank?
God, what the fuck?
She threatens Frank with a gun and accuses him of being Valdez.
Why'd you do it?
Of course, Frank denies everything and sends Peter to confront Abigail.
I didn't tell that girl shit.
I believe her.
He orders Peter to kill the girl, but Joey attacks him. Joey promised to protect the child, and she isn't going to let Peter harm her.
Joey, what's happening?
She fights with Peter and promises to kill him if he hurts the girl. They argue in front of everybody, and Frank threatens Joey with a gun.
She's not gonna kill me. I might be wrong, Frank.
While the atmosphere between them is quickly getting very tense, Sammy notices that Abigail stops crying and becomes calm and focused. The girl easily takes her handcuffs off and makes a strange move as if she was dancing.
What the fuck?
Then, Abigail turns into a horrible monster with very sharp teeth and attacks Peter. She tries to kill him, but Frank shoots her first. After being injured, Abigail stands up as if nothing happened.
No.
She is ready to attack again, so Joey shoots her a couple of times, but it doesn't hurt the girl. Frank shuts the door and hopes that it will keep the guys safe, at least for a while. Are they locked in the same house with a vampire girl? The guys discuss everything they know about vampires and known ways to kill them.
We kidnapped a f***ing vampire.
At least Valdez isn't in here.
A ballerina vampire.
The girl is Valdez, you moron.
Shut the
Hey! Dum-dum.
Helping. Just don't do that again.
Joey refuses to participate and stays in the living room.
Killing her would be the stupidest thing we could do.
Let's go kill us a f***ing vampire.
After Sammy finds garlic, Peter wears his cross and Frank grabs a self-made wooden stake. They go searching for Abigail. They find the girl dancing with one of the dead decapitated bodies, and she gives them a lesson in vampirology. First, she attacks Sammy and almost kills her since garlic doesn't bother her at all. Then she jumps on Peter, grabs his cross, and stabs him with it numerous times. Abigail doesn't forget about Frank, as she takes his stake and stabs him in his own leg. The criminals want to kill Abigail, but now they are completely helpless against her. However, the girl likes playing with her victims, so she doesn't kill them and lets them go.
You f***ing say I told you so!
Since none of the classic methods of murder work on Abigail, Joey decides to put her to sleep with a medical drug.
You sit here and bleed, or you trust me?
The guys split up to find the girl and report to Joey so she could arrive and tranquilize her. While looking for Abigail, Sammy goes downstairs and falls into a huge pool full of dead bodies. Sammy realizes that all the bodies belong to Abigail's former victims and goes crazy with fear. When the guys hear her screams, they run to help her. On his way, Peter finds Abigail, and she chases after him.
Vampire on my ass!
The criminals try to stop her, but Abigail seems to be invincible. She attacks Frank and is going to choke him to death, but Sammy distracts her.
She's f***ing flying!
Abigail bites Sammy, and Peter throws the girl to the ground. Eventually, Joey manages to put the girl to sleep. As she wakes up in her cage, she starts revealing everyone's secrets.
We want to talk.
Please let me out. I'm scared.
Cut the shit.
Frank had arrested some of Lazaar's partners in crime, while Sammy and Peter had stolen money from him.
Lambert works for me. I planned all of this.
Am I gonna turn into a vampire?
Maybe.
What's gonna happen to me?
Eventually, she reveals that Joey was a nurse who neglected her duties due to her drug addiction and accidentally killed one of Lazaar's goons.
Shut the f*** up!
What can I say? I like playing with my food.
All of the criminals somehow caused problems for her father, and Abigail came up with an interesting idea about how to punish her daddy's enemies. With Lambert's assistance, her servant, she began organizing her own kidnapping operations. Lambert gathered Lazaar's enemies together and tasked them with taking the girl to the secluded mansion that had always belonged to Lazaar and Abigail. Then, Abigail initiated her bloody games, hunting poor humans until none were left alive. The girl sets her rules for her new game. If the guys let her out of her cage, she will let two of them live.
This, let's just kill her now.
You tried that, Frank.
The one who wants to free her from the cage is Peter, but the other criminals stop him.
Go on, let me out.
Peter, if you touch that door, I will shoot you.
easy.
That shit, Joey.
I got this.
Abigail asks Frank to open the cage in exchange for information about how to escape the house. She tells him about the secret door in the library, but Frank doesn't keep his promise. However, Abigail doesn't seem to need anybody's help.
What's so funny?
She breaks the door of the cage and frees herself. She is about to kill Frank, so Joey opens the window, and daylight hurts the vampire girl's hand. Frank and Joey see that Abigail recovers and heals herself very quickly. But they have enough time to flee the scene. The guys end up searching for safety in the library, but Frank doesn't find any secret doors. The library window is wide open, and Sammy checks if it can harm her, but discovers that everything is okay. She questions Joey about her past, and Joey confirms that she left her son with his father due to her drug addiction. She was planning to take him back after she commits the kidnapping and raises money, but she never expected such a turn of events.
Own your f***ing shit and go and be a mother to that kid.
Sammy comes up with an idea to find the power supply and break it to open the house, and Peter agrees to assist her since he believes that she is not infected.
Dream team.
Stay alert. She's toying with us.
You're my friend.
While they are alone, Abigail uses her bite on Sammy's hand to manipulate her. Sammy tries to resist, but quickly gives up and becomes Abigail's puppet.
You're mine.
Sammy's wounds disappear, and she turns into a monstrous vampire creature. The girl takes control over Sammy's body, kills Peter, and sucks his blood. Now she can use Sammy's body however she wants, since Sammy repeats all of Abigail's moves or words.
Oh no!
Then she lures Joey and Frank into a trap and attacks them.
What happened? Shh. She's still in here. Run!
But they run back to the library.
I always hated this room. My father turned me in here.
There, Joey kills Sammy with the help of daylight. Suddenly, the secret door opens and Joey and Frank have no other choice but to go there. They find Lambert, who turns out to be a vampire as well.
He's one of them!
No shit, Frank.
Abigail turned him into a vampire and used him to bring people into this house for her bloody games. Now, Lambert is tired of the girl's threats and wants to get rid of Abigail and her father. He offers Frank to turn him into a vampire too.
I'm not gonna become a f***ing puppet like Sammy. No.
So they could defeat Abigail and Lazaar and take over their criminal empire.
No, you'd be just like me. Total autonomy.
Bite me.
Frank agrees and Lambert bites him. Lambert allows Frank to drink his blood, and Frank undergoes a horrific transformation from human to vampire. Once Frank becomes a vampire, Lambert suggests making Joey his first victim. However, Frank decides to kill Lambert for his betrayal first.
I feel f***ing great. You better f***ing run.
When Abigail finds them and attacks Frank, he catches her off guard and bites her. While Frank is drinking Abigail's blood, Joey manages to unlock the house doors and runs away. When he thinks that Abigail is dead, Frank goes completely crazy and chases after Joey.
I f***ing hate ballet.
Joey tries to find an exit, but she doesn't have enough time. When she feels that Frank is about to catch her, she calls her son and talks to him for the last time in her life. She says that she loves him and that she is very proud of her little boy. Frank finds Joey and beats her up. He wants to turn her into his own puppet, but Abigail intervenes and saves her. She can't defeat Frank alone, so she asks Joey for help. In return, she promises to let Joey leave the house alive.
Look who came to join the party.
Together, they fight with Frank, but he is too strong. He tortures Joey and stabs her to the wall, but she doesn't give up and keeps fighting alongside Abigail. Then Frank defeats Abigail and sucks almost all her blood. He also bites Joey to get control over her. He believes that she is his puppet now and orders her to kill Abigail, but Joey attempts to stab Frank instead. Working together, Abigail and Joey manage to kill him. After they stab Frank and his body explodes,
Oh, fuck.
Abigail lets Joey go. She believes that Joey is a good person and may become a great mom one day. When Joey thinks that she is finally safe, Abigail's father enters the room, and he is even more ominous than his bloodthirsty daughter. Lazaar is intending to kill Joey, but Abigail persuades him that she is good and deserves to live.
Joey, stop! She saved my life!
Lazaar hesitates, but then decides to listen to his daughter and allows Joey to go.
See you around, Joey.
Joey leaves the house, sits in the car, and leaves all the terror of that night behind her.